Hey all, my name is Hayden. In the last few years I've done over 1.4, 1.5 million from my UK and USA store combined. I currently sell in the two marketplaces I just mentioned. I do online arbitrage, I do private label a little bit, just started it, and I mainly do unique bundles. I've launched over 100, 150 unique bundles to count today. So, not today, throughout the time I've been doing it, which is about 4.5 years. Wow, anyone does 150 bundles in a day, I want to hire you. I also own a PPC agency called Apex PPC, where we manage people's PPC affordably who do bundles, arbitrage, and private label. And in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about PPC for unique bundles, because I think this is something that people really struggle with, and there's like a science to doing PPC with unique bundles, which is very different to private label, and that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to claim that I'm some sort of expert in doing private label to a high end with PPC, because I'm absolutely not. We don't manage huge accounts. What we do really well is the arbitrage, but also mainly the bundles PPC, because the bundles PPC, ignore the sirens, that's in my London apartment, always sirens coming past here. With the bundles PPC, people really struggle with getting enough sales profitably and keeping profit, keeping their rank, keeping their organic rank without spending too much money and just not actually being profitable with bundles. You've got to get a fine line between ranking your product, getting consistent sales, but not spending so much money so that you just eat up all of the profit your bundles made. And I see this time and time again. The amount of clients we've got from our agency or my one-to-one consulting clients that I've just started doing, where they come to me and they're spending like £4,000 a month, or even like 12,000 a month. I've seen it on their bundles, and there's no way they're making that profit back. It's scary. It does happen. So yeah, I just wanted to do this video to help people out, to talk to you about the reality of what it takes to do PPC on Amazon for bundles without costing you all of the profit in your business. So that's what I'm going to dive into in this video. So one of the first things that I want to tackle here is organization. Organization is absolutely key when it comes to PPC with bundles on Amazon. You need to have everything segmented into portfolios. So what I see a lot of the time with a lot of agency clients is that they have multiple, like hundreds of campaigns randomly splattered with random titles all over their Amazon account. So the first thing you want to do to start getting a grip on this is start segmenting things into portfolios. Now, I would have one portfolio per product, and within that portfolio you're going to have multiple campaigns, and then campaigns are going to be 0 to 100 search, and then you're going to have 100 search to 500 search, 500 search to 1,000 search, 1,000 search to 500 search, 5,000 search, 5,000 search to 10,000 search, and so on. You get the point. So within your portfolio of your product, you should have it very nicely titled so that you understand with a snapshot what product that portfolio is. I wouldn't recommend doing it as just an ASIN, because you're going to have hundreds of ASINs at one point. You need to have a rough idea. You need to know just randomly by a few words exactly what that product is. Okay, so abbreviate it in some way so that you know. Okay, if you sell action cameras, one's in pink, one's in red, obviously action cam pink, action cam red would make sense. If there's one in camouflage, action cam camouflage, obviously that makes sense as the portfolio name. And then with the campaigns, you're going to have the multiple search terms, all the different search terms for that PPC campaign. Say, as I say, 0 to 100 search, 100 search to 500 search. All of them different campaigns are going to be in their own campaigns. Okay. And you want to call them something different as well. But you also want to know what campaigns they are. So if it's the camera, as we just said, action camera black, for example, you'd have action camera black. You may call that ACB, which is abbreviation for action camera black, and then put 0 to 100, so that you can click into the portfolio of that product, you can click into the campaign of that product, and then you can see at that point exactly what campaign you're looking at and what product you're looking at. I hope you're with me here, guys. Any other campaigns you want as well, which we're not going to go into in this video, but how to do like product targeting, brand targeting, keywords targeting other things, they're also going to be within that portfolio as well. But let's start off by just talking about the keywords here, the keyword targeting. So first of all, you're going to be organized like that. Okay, so you've got your portfolio, and within your portfolio, you've got your different campaigns with your different search terms. Okay, now within that, as I say, you're going to have one campaign for each search volume. Okay, and within that, I would have maximum of like 3 to 5 keywords. Okay, if you've got, say, 15 keywords, if you've got 15 keywords for your 0 to 100 search keyword terms that you found, then you're going to have to create 3 different campaigns. So I would call that, if it's the action camera, for example, I would have the abbreviation action ACW, which is action camera white. I would have it 0 to 100 search, and then put phase 1. For the next set of keywords, 3 to 5, I would have phase 2, phase 3, and so on, so that you can look into this portfolio at any stage. You can then see that there's action camera abbreviation 1 is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and you can see where you are for each one and see how them bids are performing. So within any of them search terms, as I said, maximum is 5 keywords, because Amazon do not distribute your spend evenly. Okay, they might not distribute your spend to a keyword. If you've got 15 keywords in one campaign, for example, they're not going to necessarily distribute that spend accordingly, evenly for all of them keywords. And you might miss out on some really good keywords that were going to do you really well, just because there wasn't enough spend to go around. That's why we do a limit of 3 to 5 per campaign, so that it can distribute your spend evenly, so you can test every single one of them keywords. So that's like the basics of setting this all up. That's what I would start with. I would I would target different keywords for different levels and have a maximum budget of, look, I don't do maximum budgets of that much. I'll do a maximum budget per campaign of probably about £10, and I would start with low bids. If it's advising you to do bids of 81p to 87p, for example, I would probably start at 45 to 50p. Okay, and if I didn't get any traction on that, then I would slowly start moving it up until it got traction. If it spends too much, and this is where people go wrong, it just spends a fortune, and they either leave it on, or they've got one sale and they spent 20 quid, or they've got no sales and they spent 50 quid. You need to be monitoring this stuff every single day. And if you've got a campaign that is spent on any particular product over £4, £5, £6, £7, and you've got no sales, I would then reduce that bids by at least 50%. I would then check that for the next 7 days. And at the end of that 7 days, if it still hasn't got any sales, I would then turn that keyword off. Okay, whether that's exact, broad, or phrase, I would turn that off. Okay. The next stage that I would then do is look at your performing keywords that are actually getting sales. Now, you know how much each of your products are making, right? Now, the goal of PPC, which a lot of people forget, is that PPC is either getting you good, a top up amount of sales for a good ACOS, advertising cost of spend, which means that you're still profitable in them products as a whole, your total advertising cost of spend, or what it's doing is increasing your organic rank or maintaining your organic rank, right? If it's not doing any of them, then it's pointless. I say this to so many people that come to me for PPC advice, so many people that come to me for one-to-one consulting. I say this to them all the time, right? I get shown a campaign, and let's say it spent £30 and it's got 2 sales, but I know for a fact their products are only making £5 sale per product. Therefore, the sales that they've got from that PPC clearly is not profitable. Clearly, because we can see that from the ad spend. Okay, let's look at the next step. Okay, has it been launched recently? Is this in launch phase? And if they say no, this isn't in launch phase, we launched it 180 days ago, I'll say, okay, well then what's the plan here? Let's check your organic ranks. And if we check the organic ranks, and it's not increasing in organic rank, okay, and it's staying the same organically ranked, like let's say it's on 50 or 60 organic rank on page, let's say it's 50 or 60 search term in a keyword, for example, so it's on like page 2, and it hasn't been increasing, it hasn't decreased, then I'll be like, what's the point in running the PPC for that ASIN for that particular keyword if it's costing you more than you're making in sales. Okay, are you getting any organic sales for this product? If they're getting organic sales, right, and the PPC is not really increasing the rank, then I would look for keywords that are much, much more price competitive, and I would be spending a lot less on them bids, because clearly there's something wrong with that product. If it's not getting itself up, once you've got a product to a certain stage organically and with PPC in the search term, if it doesn't help itself for that final leg of it, for bundles specifically, I'm not talking about private label, for bundles, then the product may need looking at. It could be your keywords, it could be search suppressed, it could be your images, it could be the offering, it could be the price. PPC can only help you so far, so much. You should be using PPC in the initial days to rank your product. You should then start to strip back your PPC. Strip back your PPC and let the organic sort of take over, okay? That means reducing bids on them specific keywords, having less campaigns and lower bids, okay? This is for bundles specifically, right? And you want to get to a stage where you're spending like maybe 15 to 20% max on the PPC for all of your products, and then the organic rank is taken over. If you're spending tons on PPC and your organic rank is not increasing anymore, then what's the point? Because all you're doing at this stage is spending all of that money and not making any profit on them PPC sales, right? I'll go back to my initial point. Organic rank, the point for PPC is to either get good sales at a low, this is maintenance PPC, not initially launched, is to get a good amount of sales for a low return on ad spend, total advertising cost of spend, TACOS, right? A low, which tallies up with your organic sales, or to get a load of organic sales, okay? If something is costing you a fortune in PPC and it's not increasing your organic rank and it's not maintaining your organic rank, then why do it? I turn off any campaigns that are costing me a fortune. I never stop finding, a mix between the auto campaigns and the PPC keyword specific campaigns. I'm not spending a ton on this stuff with bundles. People go wrong by spending a ton on this stuff. It's a balancing act between topping up your sales and increasing organic rank in launch phase. But if your product, you shouldn't have to spend a ton with bundles, right? Unless you're in a really competitive niche like sweets hampers, for example, which is, uncommon really. There's not loads of niches that are that saturated when it comes to bundles in my experience. You shouldn't have to spend a ton. There's loads of niches where you don't have to spend a ton. PPC in the initial phase should be getting you to a good stage on page 1, right? If you're spending loads of money and your rank isn't increasing, maybe it's time to stop trying to get a higher rank, and maybe you should be happy with the rank that your product's got if it's getting a good amount of organic sales, and then strip back your PPC. I'm just seeing a lot of people waste a lot of money on PPC trying to get an unrealistic goal in terms of the ranking that you can organically get without constantly feeding it with PPC in a way that is not natural. Like if you turn off all your PPC and your rank goes down to 40 when it was at 5, then it means that your product's not good enough to be ranked 5, Like that's just how it works with PPC on bundles specifically, right? It's not massively competitive in a lot of niches like it is with private labels, so it's a slightly different strategy. So guys, that's how we do it. I wanted to give you a brief summary there, sort of an in-depth summary actually, I would say, of PPC, like a mini masterclass there when it comes to bundles. Some people are thinking about it in the wrong way. As I say, if you want us to help you out with the PPC, we have got really affordable packages. I'll leave a link below to the email, the Apex PPC email. You can email in to set up a call so we can audit your PPC ourselves, or my name on Facebook is Hayden Thomas, so you can shoot me a message on Messenger. Guys, I will see you in the next video.